Fresh flowers are regularly laid in this square in Southport. They have been ever since the horrific murders of the 3 little girls. One of the more enduring legacies of the atrocities will be the public inquiry announced by the Prime Minister, supported by politicians from both main parties.
Just because you don't have an ideological motive doesn't mean that you can't be a mass killer and incredibly dangerous.
Well, indeed.
These are things that the public inquiry must look at.
Why is it that despite all of these schemes and all of these programmes that we put in place, previous governments, successive previous governments of all parties, certain people still slip through the cracks?
Much of the focus has been on the anti-terrorism prevent programme. Axel Rudabakana had been referred to it 3 times before he carried out the murders, after he looked at articles about school shootings and terror attacks online. The Sunday Times has published what it says are the findings of a Home Office review of decisions made by the North West of England's Prevent team in the Southport killers case. After 1 Prevent referral, the newspaper says that officers investigated and concluded, case closed. Concerns related to Prevent were explored. Did not appear to be linked to an ideology or vulnerability to radicalisation. Vulnerability and needs were identified, but these were being met by other safeguarding and other agencies. Case closed to Prevent, but triaged to other services. After a second referral, officers wrote, no radicalisation concerns identified. The government also today announced other measures, with stricter age and ID checks for people buying knives online. This was the type of knife used by Axel Rudabakana. And it has written to technology companies, demanding action to remove illegal content, including material accessed by the killer here from his home. Those measures are perhaps details, though, compared to the bigger picture. The Home Secretary has said the review is underway, looking at the thresholds used by Prevent, and that when those thresholds aren't met, cases can disappear, as she put it, into the void. Prevent is designed to stop terrorism. As disturbing, as horrific as the Southport murders were, they weren't a terrorist attack. The inquiry will look at whether Prevent did its job, but it's clear the system as a whole did not.
There were sufficient red flags in play that he should have been caught earlier by social services. Clearly his propensity towards violence, clearly his interest in violence, clearly his behavioral patterns were all indicative that he was intending to commit serious violence.
No finding from an inquiry can ease the grief of the families of Bibi, Elsie and Alice. But real change that prevents other atrocities and protects other small children, would be some memorial. Tom Cheshire, Sky News.